the CX-5 that we are driving is a Grand Touring, which is the top of the line CX-5. The base model CX-5 is like your typical bait and switch model. Even though I think it's fairly attractive, it only comes in 3 colors.
And you can get a manual transmission.
Yes, that's why it's attractive. But what's annoying is you can only get it in 3 colors.
Well,
gray, black, and silver.
So
That's not really even 3 colors. That's like
3 different shades
of the same thing. Yeah. So that's the base model, which starts at like 21,000.
Okay,
but that's not what we're driving. We're
like
driving the top of the line CX-5, which is I don't know. But you pay extra for this color.
Yeah.
Like $300, which always annoys us.
I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, you really gotta want a color to pay extra for it.
Soul red paint.
Soul red. Okay.
Which,
well,
I like this one. I honestly would probably do it only because the rest of the color choices really don't do a whole lot for me.
I like the blue. I like the blue.
It's kind of a dusty, pale. It's not.
There's actually, I think there's
blue,
2
but
blues.
It's not really blue. It's just
okay.
It's not like the Mazda 3 blue of yore where it was blue.
The thing that's a little frustrating to me though about this Grand Touring, maybe not frustrating, but so the base car starts at 21 something. I don't know.
That's not bad.
This is the all-wheel drive version with the 2.5 liter, which has 184 horsepower, 185 foot-pounds of torque.
Correct.
Which is a lot more power than it feels. I've been impressed with how quick this felt.
I think that has more to do with the lightweight.
That's true.
Forget what the number is right now, but Mazda is pretty good at keeping the weight down, more than anybody else really is.
Well, all of that to get to the Grand Touring is $29,470 base price. Now, you mentioned the LED lights.
Yeah.
The LED lights actually are an option package that's over $1,500 that comes with LED headlights, fog lights, tail lights, and navigation system. Why does that all tie in together? I have no idea.
What you're saying is we don't actually have it on this car.
No, we do.
Oh,
we do. It was a 15.
As part of that 29?
No. $29,470 is the price of the base Grand Touring. So we're topping out at 33, like
34,315.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about things that make this a Mazda, because it's a Mazda, so it needs to handle, it needs to have good steering, it needs to have good, fun, playful ride. It's got to be sporty, is it?
Well, it depends. I would describe the ride as choppy.
No,
it is choppy because when I picked it up, I mean, granted, I got out of our Grand Marquis.
You got out of a pretty floaty boat.
But compare it to, say, my 10-year-old Cadillac CTS. This is a choppy ride. This is a choppy ride.
Pretty.
I know, but see, that's got more of a sporty bent. I'm just saying. I felt like today driving it. I put 90 miles on it today on the expressway, and I don't think I would like to drive it that far every day. That's all I'm saying.
That said, the seats are very comfortable. At least I think.
Not bad. They're this parchment color, which you can't get on the base. Parchment basically means don't let your kids spill anything on it. White, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the steering is pretty good.
I was impressed with how much heft there was. Not as much feedback as I was kind of hoping for, but it's a crossover. It's taller. I'm pleased that there's as much heft and as much feedback as there is. So
okay,
I'll give it points for that. I thought it was fairly responsive. When I drove it, I actually hit a couple of curves.
Okay.
The body lean isn't there. It's pretty stable. It's a crossover, but it's a good crossover. I definitely put it in the higher up the food chain.
Like if you had to have a crossover, this kind of makes it a little more tolerable.
I'd pick this over a Honda CRV or I'd probably need to do a back-to-back this versus the Escape to really get a feel where I would fall.
Well, I'll tell you where I think this falls ahead of the Escape is the interior. The Ford Escape, actually, there are some parting lines visible around the nav system and stuff, and it's a little bit like, okay, it's a low end SUV, so I'm not going to cross over. I'm not going to give it too bad of marks, but it looks better in pictures than it does in person. This actually looks pretty good. I don't like the knob. The knob is.
You can also touch it.
I know, but it was not. It was very unresponsive to my finger touches, and I was frustrated in the Miata. I was frustrated in the Scion IA, which is now the Yaris IA for 2017, which is just a rebadged.
Toyota
got rid of Scion,
and absorbed.
but Mazda was supplying them with that car, and it's a Mazda unit, and so.
Right.
I think Mazda's got a little ways to go with making that really friendly. Having used it 3 times, I felt like this time I would have it, and I don't. Probably not the worst out there, so I'm not
that bad. I prefer this little stuff down here, but
no, but I just wish you didn't have to get all of this. Like, if the base model for $21,000, if I've got to live with black for the exterior and a manual transmission, and I can have a conventional radio, I would do it. I would say that's enough for me to. Plus, the base car is the one that's got the EPA rating of 35 miles per gallon. This has 33, which is not too shabby, but I would go for the extra 2 miles per gallon. That's just me.
Well,
and the manual transmission. I bet you that would make this.
I
bet that would make this car far more engaging to drive.
Oh yeah.
But right now, I will say it shifts very, very smoothly.
It does.
How many speeds does this have?
It's 6 speed.
Oh, 6 speed.
6 speed auto.
Okay.
And you can change. It does have a.
It does have the sport, and it also has the manual shifting mode.
Shift it,
Yeah.
Which was decent. It wasn't bad.
I don't know. I'm just not into
Crossover, I'd never use them. But it does have a sport versus normal setting for driving. I think it firms up the steering maybe just a little bit. I have to double check the specs. But it definitely changed the shift mat. And I noticed as soon as you put it down into sport, it like shifts down to 4th or 5th gear while you're cruising down the road. It's like, it made it very unusable, in my opinion, for everyday driving. If I just want to be a little bit more enthusiastic. Change my shift points, yes, but don't lock me out of gears. I still want to use them all.
Yeah.
On that note, where are we falling on this? We like it? We recommend it?
Well, that's a tough one for me because it's in a segment that I'm not that excited about. But if I put my small crossover blinders on, yeah, definitely. This is probably one of the class leaders.
I don't think I could have said it better myself. And on that note, I think we're out of here. See you next time.
Going to ask you how your reverse camera was working on the Lincoln.
I don't have a reverse camera on the
You did when we left my house.
Yeah, but it's a GoPro.
It was pointing in the reverse direction, and it was on your Lincoln.
But that was.
I was technically correct.
You were technically correct.
I was technically correct.